Welcome to Single Tree Nation. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the host and owner of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue. We are here to build community through undeniable hospitality, storytelling, and the perfect plate of barbecue.
That's what a fresh haircut will do to you.
Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. We are having fun already. We're glad you could join us. There's a lot of big energy going around today, so we'll just leave it at that. But welcome back again. I got my man Derry with us as usual. Lots to talk about today. Lots to follow up on. From last week's let's just say epic episode.
At least it didn't turn into a debacle like where it just all fell apart.
I do have one question though. Have you started editing that? No? All right. Well, we're gonna have to give an update on how long it took to edit that one episode, because it took us,
or just go raw with that one. I just uncut.
Well, I think it's like right now like an hour and 15.
Oh, yeah. Is it?
I mean, that's okay. I'm not worried about that.
Well, I mean, but there's like 5-minute spots that there's no anything
as
other
I
than
pace the room over
yeah,
here.
You're pacing the room, and I'm trying to figure out where my heartbeat's coming from. Is it coming out of my chest, my ears, my toes? I don't know. Yeah. But for if you didn't watch last week's episode, we did the Hot Ones Challenge right here. So go back 1 week after you get done watching this show and check that out because it is going to be epically funny. So this week we're starting a new segment.
Let's do it.
Right? So we are bringing on local libations.
I don't know the word libation.
Beverages.
Okay.
So I figure I was talking to Brandon from Middle Ground Brewing. If you haven't been by there to see him, he's on Highway 96, right next door to Sam's Club. Brand new brewery in town. I think he's been open for 4 or 5 months, maybe something like that. 3, 4, 5, 6 months, somewhere in that neighborhood. Great people. Him and his wife are absolutely amazing. I've known him for a couple of years now. We started out looking for a brick and mortar together.
Gotcha.
And he was so kind to let us try a couple of his beers on the show tonight.
And that is right down the street from you.
And he is right down the street. So we have his beer on tap.
Nice.
We currently have what you're going to be drinking this evening, the Blonde Ale on tap. And then I got the Vienna Lager. So you can try those out. If I'm not mistaken, he's open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think he opens at 4. Don't quote me on that. Check on Google just to be safe.
Check on Google. Yeah. We Google everything nowadays.
Google it. I'll try not to make you dig too much.
Quit.
You like that? You like that? You like that circle right there?
Full circle. Yeah. See, they don't. We already come in having fun. And the crowd's like, where's this one come from? Like, no, we just.
So, I say we crack these open and start having a tasty beverage while we're talking today.
No, I am.
Because you're officially done with
75 Hard is complete. Yeah.
Well, cheers for that.
Cheers. Now, I'm the guy that I will do the pour the way you're supposed to and kind of bring the traditionalist to it and let it breathe and foam and all that stuff.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it a second.
I'm just going to drink.
Yeah. I'm going to catch up.
Just for the audience there, we only have one, so we're not going to get hammered this evening.
Assuming
Vienna Lager's good.
So after our hot ones last week, right? I texted you when we got back, hey, just remembered my story, okay, that went mind blank on. So I used to work with a guy, Barney Paradise. Dude was hilarious. All right, and I know I'm digging this back up from the past, but it's not even the show notes, but it's clicking.
Yep.
So Barney, I'm probably 20, 25. Barney's a little older than me. I worked for him for a period of time. Great guy, store designer, did lots of stuff. Anyhow, we are at work one day at the office. We had gone to Toots for lunch, get some wings, salad, whatever. And Barney doesn't even, he eats his hot wings straight to the office. All right, you got the wet nap, that's it. But there was no official, let's clean off all the sauce. And about an hour later, I hear this man screaming. And I'm like, what is going on? He had used the facilities and washed afterwards. And all the oils from his fingertips got in sensitive areas. And I laugh to this day. Now, he lives in Nevada. I don't know if he'll ever pick up on this, but, it's a... Guess what mistake you and I didn't make? So, there you go.
No.
It would have been.
No.
All right.
No, that is awful. I feel bad for Barney.
This smells good. Blonde Ale from
Blonde
Middle
Ale.
Ground Brewing.
Yep.
What was his name?
Brandon.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, man, that's good. That's smooth.
Smooth, crisp, clean.
That is what I like right there.
Pretty tasty.
That is, that'll go on the list, man.
Yeah.
And this is the one y'all are on tap at the store, at the restaurant?
We have it on tap at the restaurant, yep. So now I kind of go with Brandon, kind of let him pick a little bit because he's the brewer.
Sure. Hey, I'm going to be on spring break next week, so when I pop in at the restaurant, I keep calling store, at the restaurant, and I'm like, hey, give me 10 wings.
Yeah.
And one of these. Oh, yeah.
I still have some hot sauce left if you'd like me to put some on there.
God, no. Man,
wasn't it 8? Number 8 was the worst one, wasn't it?
Wasn't
that the one that tasted like kerosene?
Awful. It was awful.
It was just awful.
6 was the bad one that looked awful.
6 didn't taste good.
And the looks weren't there, the whatever. But 8 was just
8 was like just
I'd have drank a pull from a gas tank over that.
It was
man.
bad.
It was
bad.
It was rough. This is tasty though.
It's good beer.
Thank you. It is.
So we're gonna start doing this every week, I believe. Next week we have a special guest coming on, so that's going to be a wonderful episode.
Yep.
But if you are watching the show or listening to the show and you have a local beverage establishment, whether that's beer, wine, liquor, mead, whatever.
I haven't drank a lot of mead.
No?
No.
It's interesting.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm going to take your word on it.
Yeah, you should.
All right.
Yeah. Meaning, don't try it.
Right. That's kind of where I was at with it. Trent just shakes his head like, gosh, they're going off the rails already, man.
Not a fan of the mead. So, all right. So we've been sending each other clips of things all week.
Yes, we have.
And we do it often anyways, but this week I sent you a clip from and we're not even close to on track on our agenda today.
Hey,
but,
look, that's why it's written.
It's written in
and we can put arrows and shape it and whatever.
We can scratch out. So, but I sent you a clip from Tom Hanks.
Man,
that keeps popping up in my life.
Good.
And it's please correct me if I get this wrong.
Are you fine?
But it's "This too shall pass." And if you would have learned that earlier in life, how many things you could avoid.
So in that clip, he's at a round table with a bunch of actors. I mean,
Yep.
I think I recognize all, if close not to all of them. And he says that "this too shall pass," and he starts rattling off 2 or 3 negative things. Right. I think the one thing that stood out to me in that clip was he also says, "But when you're riding the high, this too shall pass."
Yeah.
Because we get stuck in this elevated status of everything's going right. Here I am. It's 75 degrees outside. It's this and that. And we lose that element of trying to keep that midline. And just because, life is a roller coaster. It's ups and it's downs.
Amen.
But it's this too shall pass. And, man, that has stuck with me. I'm glad you sent me that. I had not seen that before. And I thought that was
it's a really good one. And I think because I'm a business owner, with all the things that we have going on at the restaurant, barbecue competitions and the podcast and the kids sports and this and that and you know,
Calendar's
song?
full. Yeah.
This and that and
That's going to drive me nuts.
thank you, sir.
Man just pulled that
Straight out.
Save me from digging.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
yeah,
just
no
the man
digging.
knew it right there.
No digging.
See, yes, that's golly.
Yeah, thanks, Trent.
Man.
Trent's the man.
Yeah.
Just leave
He
it at
didn't even
that.
hum it.
Yeah.
He was just like, no, here you go.
Yeah.
Facts.
There you go. Yeah. Look it up if you want to. That's right.
It's right. That
Yeah. So you always want to be on a positive trajectory. You always want to get better,
well, sure.
right? Whether that's you want more sales for your business, or you trying to get a higher income, or you're trying to make life easier, or whatever, lose more weight, feel better, etc. You're always trying to be on a positive trajectory, but that's not always possible when you're on a downswing.
Yes, you're right, or at least it doesn't feel like it.
Right.
Because the counter to that I'm going to tell you is the stock market is up and down every day. But over the course of 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, there's that positive trajectory, right?
Well, that's kind of where I was going.
And
Yeah.
it's kind of that up and down climb. And I think too many times we get so worked up when we're in the valley, at the low point, oh heck, here it all comes. And we forget that, hang on, you only had a valley because you came from a high point, right?
Yeah.
And something was going positive. You were like, all cylinders are clicking. Like, here we go, we're making it happen. And so, but yeah, that positive climb, just kind of got to lope yourself up there a little bit.
I think a lot of times we don't think about. You work on getting yourself better, right? So if you start here and you're trying to get better and you're going up, well, when we do hit those valleys, I don't think we always realize that it feels like you're lower, you're down here,
Right.
but that low may be here,
Right.
right? And then you get another hill that you go up, right? And then that low may be here, and then so you're constantly, you're going down. But that valley feels so much lower than it actually is because we can't get outside. We can't get out of our own way.
Sure.
Right. And you can't see what others see.
Well, and we're so quick to start piling it on. My daughter comes to me today and she was like, she was running an errand for another teacher. She's like, hey, Miss So-and-so, need to bring you this. Great. Appreciate it. And I just saw her. And when I'm at school, I want my kids to have the high school experience. I'm not, my dad's over there and I go to him for everything.
Right.
And so she comes out to my room, which was weird in and of itself because I rarely see my kids on campus because of where I'm located. And I could just see it on her. I said, you good, sis? And I'm talking, that almost started it. I should have said two more words. And she starts trying. I'm like, what's going on? Now, yesterday, she had a checklist, 6, 7, 8, 9 things. Hits them all. I called her last night, like, hey, we good? Like, did you get everything done? Dad got it all done. I'm proud of you. I want, that kind of just pepper up a little bit. I'm tired. I got a headache. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I'm $15 short on this one thing where I thought I had an issue going on. I was like, whoa. What can you fix? Just start there. She goes, well, and I said, have you had any water? She goes, Dad, I ain't drank water in 2 days. I said, we'll start right there.
Yeah, let's start there. Yeah.
So got her some water. She said she had a headache, got ibuprofen. Have you eaten? Because I don't want you taking ibuprofen on an empty stomach. She's like, nope, here's crackers. That $15, I got a $10 bill that sits in my desk drawer just for the randomness that it is. Here's that. Now you're only behind $5. And she was just like, thanks. And a student of mine, when I was still in 75 Hard, had given me the Samoa Girl Scout cookies. Gave me 5 of them. And I told him, I said, I'll have these after I'm off 75 Hard. He goes, you're really going to wait? And I said, yeah, this was 3 weeks ago. I said, yeah, I'm going to wait. So I had one this morning. Accident. The container I put it in is typically where I store my coffee grounds. They kind of infused with that chocolate and the coconut a little bit. When I tell you, if Girl Scout USA could make that happen, so they would have a number one seller.
Smoa.
It was just it's just a hint of coffee. It was just barely there from where it sat in the container. It was. I mean, it was.
You
so
got any
good.
more?
No, not now.
Look, man, I'll give you dollar the other $5.
Right.
She'll be caught up. She'll be ahead 10.
So, but we were sitting there, and I pull out. I had 2 left, and I pull one out. She goes, "What's this?" I said, "Look, the day you're having a bite of chocolate will probably feel pretty good." She said, "Dad, I appreciate it." And it was just one of those things. But for her, back to our topic here, all she could do was tunnel in on how bad today's going. Yeah. And I was like, "Whoa, sis!" Like, it just hang on. And I think naturally we have this inclination to see all the negative and want to gravitate towards that when it's self-inflicted, or not even self-inflicted, but when it's.
I know what you mean.
The perception is self-wardly focused.
Yeah. You put blinders on, you can't see around.
100%. Yeah. That's all you see.
Yeah.
And
you don't have no peripheral.
You got no peripheral. Easy. You hurt yourself. But, but for others, we can see it and encourage them. She walks up, hey, look, I just knocked out 4 of your 5 problems. All right, you got to track down $5 now, which won't be a big deal. So, it just.
Go home and look in the couch cushions.
Man, it wouldn't take much. I would have told her to clean out her car, but she had done that last week, and she's all excited about it because she top of the line. We're at my mom's house.
Found $17, didn't she?
I don't know what she found. She did found a good smell though. She's like, it doesn't smell in here anymore. And I was like, I don't know what it smelled like, but I'm glad that you found something positive. I can only imagine what an 18-year-old high school female. I used to work at AutoZone for about 2 years. And when we would have to go do the little port check to check engine light, and you got to plug it in, right? I'm telling you now, by far, without question, Fred Foe, I can't even remember my other manager. Anyway, these guys would vouch for me. All right, anybody that's ever worked at AutoZone would vouch for you. The worst demographic for having to get down in the floorboard of their car was the 20 to 25-year-old female. And I don't know if there was stuff that I didn't know you could shove under the seat of a car. And you're down there elbow deep in it because you got to find that little OSB 2 port, and plug it in. And I'm like, what? How did you get there's 3 flip-flops and none of them match. Like, what? How did you do this? And it was the most, Corey, he was my manager. He was tall, handsome dude. Like, he could talk to anybody and make you feel great about the situation you're in. And he'd be like, I'm not going out there. And it'd be like I'm not going to say an attractive person, but like they look kept. He's like, no, hey, I know that's going to be a train wreck. And sure enough, we get in there, you get that floorboard like, oh, girl, what are you doing? So if you're ever feeling bad about the floorboard of your car, you're not a 20, 25-year-old female. It's probably worse somewhere else. Just throwing that out there.
I should be on, what's that guy's name on Dirty Jobs?
Mike Rowe.
Yeah, Mike Rowe. Thank you. Yeah, Mike Rowe needs to be needs to go to AutoZone.
An AutoZone manager.
Mike
for
Rowe,
a day.
if you ever see this, go to AutoZone and be a manager there for a day and plug in O2 ports.
Oh man, it was
dirty flip flops. That's pretty dirty.
There was
not as bad as some of the things I've seen that guy do, but dirty.
He's been in some stuff. When you're knee deep in various types of excrement, like,
look, man. There's a lot of things I'll do.
There's a lot of things I'll do to make $1. I think I've got lines somewhere, and I don't know exactly, but I'm not standing knee deep in excrement. I don't care if I got boots on or not. So I say that knowing I grew up on a dairy farm.
Well, now that we've talked about excrement, let's talk about last week's episode.
Let's do it, man.
And follow up on. So we left here in tears, and I think we had 2 different experiences the next day.
We did,
or that night and the next day, actually. So
yours hit sooner. Mine hit
I didn't
later.
even make it home. Like, I mean, I was pulling on my road going,
hurting.
Woo,
we're hurting.
Woo!
I
need to go. Like I said hi to my wife and kids and dog on the way by to the latrine.
I was fine. Other than just kind of feeling the normalcy of what acidic stuff does to me. I had a good night. I slept well. You said you didn't sleep well.
I didn't sleep worth the darn.
Went to sleep fine, woke up. I did find about 3 days later, I was going to wash that pair of pants, and I pulled out a Tums out of the pocket. And I was like, unwrapped, like just floating around in there. I was like, no, let's sit there. But
so I will tell you that. So my journey the next day was fine from a how I feel,
bodily function stuff. Okay.
Just how I feel. Like
Yeah.
I was up, drank my coffee, my thing. Went through my day. Yours wasn't that way.
No, I was trying to teach while being patient.
That is probably the most
Tactful way of saying that.
Yeah. Well done.
My class, we were sitting there, and it was my senior, so it's cool. Like, and I'm not discussing this with them, but I'm like, okay, like, and I am watching the minutes tick by. I'm thinking, if this doesn't get to 9:38 soon, like it's, and I finally had to quit looking at the clock.
So at what time's your class start?
My class starts at 8:15. I'm on campus at 8 o'clock. Now
Yep.
keep in mind, at 8 o'clock, I felt fine.
Yeah, so your class starts at 8:15.
Yep.
All right, did it hit you then?
No.
All right, so
About
what time did it hit you?
8:50-ish.
Okay, so at 8:50,
Like,
you're looking at the clock going
hurting.
like
Hurting.
ooh,
Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh is right.
ooh. And
And
you got to go all the way until
9:38.
9:38.
That bell rings, and I know they're going to hit the door.
And you got what, 7 minutes?
And no, luckily for me, that day is my planning period. So I had a full-on hour. Like,
okay.
Once 9:38 hit,
that
I
was
was
clutch.
good. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It had to be clutch that
Yeah.
day. But
Yeah,
my
you
goodness.
spent an hour.
No,
You
no,
spent
it was
you
just
spent an hour.
But
hanging out on
it
the
took
throne.
the pressure of if a secondary visit was needed that I didn't have to worry, right? And thankfully, I didn't have to worry. But that 45-minute window of, and keep in mind, we're working on a project, a fairly large door, trying to glue it up. There's a lot of just the mechanics of just making sure all the parts the glue doesn't set fast. You got everything in place. You've measured. You've done all this. And I am sitting over there thinking, this is, we gonna have, these clamps need to go. Like, I'm just, I'm trying to keep my mind busy. And every time I would stop for a moment, it would all come rushing back. And I was like, it's 9:21, it's 9:24, it's 9:26. Like, I'm trying to get there. And it was, we made it.
Good for you.
I'm glad that you didn't experience it during your work day. But it was.
So what I experienced the next day, and this is something we haven't discussed, but I didn't fully recover until Saturday.
Oh, no, Thursday morning, 10:15, I was gold, baby.
So feeling wise, stomach wise, I was fine.
Right.
But that next day, I'm going through my work day and I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally at the smoker at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, wrapping up pork butts. And I had a new guy out there with me. And we got the pork butts wrapped up. And I looked at him and I said, we're going to take a break. And he went, everything okay? And I went, nope.
Nope.
And I turned right back. I mean, literally turned around and beeline inside the restaurant. Like, I don't know what happened.
I love the mental image of him just standing there watching you walk away like, I don't know what I did wrong. And,
Right.
and he
Yeah.
had nothing to do with this.
No.
Like, yeah.
No, so
That's great.
So, you know, moments later, quote unquote, I go back out front and we're going to wrap the brisket.
That poor kid.
And he
Man, person, I don't know who it is.
And he
but
looks
like,
at me and he goes, everything okay? I was like, hot ones.
hot ones.
And he goes, oh, you did that yesterday, didn't you? And
Oh,
I went,
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And he goes, you okay?
Nope.
You okay? I went, nope.
I wondered if maybe like genuinely after Thursday morning, 10:15, 11 o'clock, I was fine.
So that's the way it was for the rest of the day for me.
Okay.
I was fine. I'd be fine. And then all of a sudden, gotta go.
Man.
Bye. See you. That happened 4 times on Thursday.
Oh.
Okay. So then on Saturday, I'm in Lebanon at the barbecue competition.
Right.
Smoke
Right.
on the Shores. Friday, I never went to the restroom at all. Not once.
I'm trying to watch your eyes, like where this story's about to go. Like it's
Saturday, so I got up Friday morning at about 4:30, 5 o'clock, went to the restaurant, smoked all the stuff for the restaurant, got everything set up, went to Lebanon, got set up there, started cooking Friday night. At about 8, 7, 8, somewhere, I don't remember. Finally went to bed a little bit after 3. Got everything off the smoker, went to bed in my truck, got up the next morning, started cooking again for the comp. We get done with everything. Turn-ins are starting at noon. I get everything turned in. We're good. And I'm sitting there minding my own business, drinking a beer. And all of a sudden,
oh man,
I started sweating.
Oh man,
I mean, like cold sweats. Like, don't know where I am, kind of like just bad. And I looked at Brent and I went, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I get to the bathroom.
Were the facilities at least within a remotely close?
About 100 yards.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, not too bad.
You didn't have to go like across a campground or nothing.
Oh,
like
no,
so.
no,
Okay.
no. It wasn't that bad. But I get to the bathroom, and this is way too much information for anybody listening, but I'll just put it this way.
They're invested at this point, though.
Yeah, I ate too many Tums.
Interesting.
Yeah. I had too many Tums, too much ice cream, and too much milk.
There you go. That's enough said. Enough said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it was bad.
Man.
So that was a really disgusting way to
Do you have a
describe what
lactose
happened.
intolerance?
No.
That you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of. I drink a glass of milk every day.
Man, this is great.
It's good beer.
Man, it is good. Man, I'm sorry. That's just fantastic.
I love it. So to move on from that conversation, because it was brutal. So since Saturday, I've been fine. But
well, good.
Yeah,
I did not experience that. I'm glad that I didn't have to go through all that.
Yeah, blockage 101. Don't do the Hot Ones challenge unless you feel like having a roadblock.
Whatever. I say do it because it was a blast.
Oh, it was
that 10th one though lingered. I mean, it sat there.
It was tough.
Your face turned red.
Tough.
I was concerned at one point because you held it in your left cheek. And
I
was like, get rid of that. That is going to just.
It was and like the mouth stopped working.
I didn't. This was the thing that I was going to say about mine was I knew it was bad when after we had stopped and everything, and stopped recording, whatever. And I'm sitting here and I'm trying to take a sip of milk and my lips are quivering. Like I could not hold the milk within my mouth. Yeah. So I had to swallow it faster than I wanted to. So you don't get the relief you want. And it was just like, I don't think you're supposed to feel your pulse in your ears, but like, it was just like, man, it was, whoo. Oh man,
it was tough.
It was tough. It was really tough.
Yeah. What do we got? What do we got on our agenda?
Right. It's funny that we kicked off taste testing night. I had a little topic called Under the Influence, not beer related or alcohol related. You shared something with me on some social media, and it was Inky Johnson.
Yeah.
And he was basically, he's like, careful with your thoughts because your thoughts become your words become your actions become your future. And so the take I wanted to go here for this is, by being under the influence, just a general note of what you consume affects who you are and what your outcomes are. And I don't think we give enough credence to that because we get so often where we're told this line of what you consume. And the first thing just is we're thinking food. What did I consume today? Calorically, too much sugar, too much this, too much that, whatever. Consuming is literally anything that we're taking in. Environment, visual, audio, smell, whatever it may be. And, I think that for some reason, I tell you where this kind of clicked off for me. I walked in my classroom today. There's literally maybe 30, 45 seconds left to the bell. My guys had cleaned up. We're doing the thing. We're ready to go. And I walk in, and I had made a joke with a young man still out in the shop. He was finishing up, and I walk in, and literally out of about 15, 18 kids who are already in the classroom, I bet all but 2 or 3, head down, that kind of half sunk thing, just scrolling. And I'm not like saying don't be cell phone wise. I mean, I'm on mine, but what are we consuming on this just generalized level? That are we getting better? Are you getting worse? Because we had an old principle that said you never stay the same. You're always getting better. You're getting worse. And so what are we under the influence of, and how intentional do you need to be careful about what you're under the influence of?
Man, and so when I sent you that, I'm glad you went down that road, because it's actually a different point of view than the way I took it and the way I kind of thought about it. And I looked at it from what you believe is true. So, do you believe that you are going to be successful? If you believe that, then you're going to be successful, right? You'll figure out how to become successful. And that's going to segue into another topic that we have. But somebody asked me a couple of years ago, right when we started Single Tree, what's your plan? And I said, well, we're going to have 20 to 25 units. That may be brick and mortars and food trucks and concession stands and different areas of the business. A retail segment, like there's different categories that I consider a unit. But we'll have 20 to 25 units. And their response to me was, well, don't you think you need to get this one successful first? And I went, yeah, I'm going to. But you asked me where I want to take this.
Right. What's
what
my
I'm
plan?
going to do.
I'm not planning
What
for
my
one.
plan is.
Right.
My plan is this is where I'm going. I'm going to have 20 to 25 restaurants. And my dad will tell you he used to chuckle at me a little bit when I used to tell him, hey, we're going to have 25 of these. And yeah, okay. Right.
Dad's trying to bring the reality dose.
Right.
Like, hey, Charlie.
But if you start something, whether it's 75 hard, a business, a book, a movement, political run for office, whatever, whatever you set out to do, if in your heart of hearts you don't believe that it's going to happen, not if it happens, not when it may be,
I think terminology matters.
But if you don't 100% believe in yourself and your abilities, not to accomplish the goal right then, like what people don't understand is I truly believe that I'm going to have 20 plus restaurant units.
Right.
I don't know if I have the bandwidth today to make that happen. I don't know if I have the knowledge to make that happen. But what I do know is that I'm open-minded enough to seek the knowledge, to get involved, to ask for help, and put in the work to accomplish that goal. Right? I don't care about do I have it now or not. I care about can I get there. And I feel like that I'm open enough to be able to kind of go out and seek that information to figure out how to make it happen. We started Single Tree on hope and a prayer and a couple bucks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't.
Here's a slab of beef. Make it happen, baby.
Yeah, I mean, here's a brisket.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Let's go. I looked at my business, or I talked to my business partner yesterday, and I said it is very viable that we could do over $1 million in revenue this year.
Awesome.
Now, that depends on certain things happening and growing the business in certain areas and making sure that we're continuously upholding high standards and having the undeniable hospitality and continuously telling our story and getting the whole team to be able to regurgitate everything that I do every single day. but it's possible.
Right.
And I think 10% of all small businesses started fail within a first year. And then 10% of those make it to 5 years. And only 10% of those make it over $1 million in revenue. So you're talking about a very, very small niche of people that get to the point that 3 years ago, people would come up to me and my wife and say, hey, man, how's that little food truck business doing?
Right.
How's that hobby?
Right.
Well, you know what I got to say to them people? Doing just fine.
I like that you camera both fingers, camera appropriate there. Like, yeah.
You know, but that's because I believe.
Right.
I don't have a backup plan. I'm not creating a backup plan. I believe that if I work hard enough on myself, I work hard enough on my people, and I work hard enough on my business, that I can get to accomplish the goals I want to get to. And I don't feel like, man, we're going to get deep, because I feel like we don't do a good enough job as leaders in our community, as leaders in sports, in any just leaders in general, whether it's to the youth, to middle school kids, to high school kids, to college kids, to whatever, in the mentor side of it, of what are you really, really good at?
Right.
What do you really, really love? And can you put in the work to accomplish what you want to accomplish? And can you wake up every day and be the best that you possibly can be?
Well, a few weeks ago, I'd ask you did passion equal success?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it always equals success. It doesn't have to, at least. But I think if you do have that passion,
yep,
and like you said, you believe, and again, it comes down to, I was thinking as you're talking, you get so passionate about being able to speak not only about the store, but about how you have a destination for this. I know that your catchphrase of the Nike of barbecue.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, man, what is that? And because Nike started out super small up there in Oregon, uber little, one little shop, and Phil Knight
out of a
just
garage.
Right. I mean, and the man absolutely killed it. And so that's how many businesses started out garages? I know Amazon was a garage. Nike was a garage.
Nike, Apple, Microsoft. There's 6 that I know of that are massive now.
Right.
What are the 2 we missing, Trent?
Don't make him dig.
Our encyclopedia.
No, but
yeah.
But and the thing though that just because you are passionate about these things, I find your ability to network to be incredible. Because of this reason, you have a passion for what you're doing, but you also have a passion to bring other people, whether it's on board or to at least glean some information from them or whatever it may be.
Rising tide lifts all ships.
Right there, brother. And so like that, the way that you were like, hey, I'm ready to do this. If you're not, that's fine. That's cool. I'm going to go to the next one who is. I appreciate your time. What can I learn from you? Yeah. And it may be 5, 10, 15 people at once, but you have a passion to not just serve a plate of barbecue. You do truly have a passion to influence community. You have a passion to influence the people around you. And I truly believe that because of that, you're going to get to that 25 units. You're going to hit that million mark. It's going to be those little things that you're going to be like, man, heck yeah, what can I do next?
Look, I think no matter what your dreams, goals, how you define success, I think you have to start with a belief in yourself.
Sure.
And you have to start with that belief of, yes, I can do this. And then you have to have the discipline to be able to stay doing it, because it is so easy. You can ask any entrepreneur you want to. It is so easy to throw the hands up and go, man, screw that.
Right.
Like, this sucks. Because there's days that it sucks. And if you don't believe me, come hang out with me on a Monday or a Tuesday when we got to clean the pit.
I knew a guy one time that worked at a restaurant, a local one here in town, and I knew Sam. He not great friends, but we were close enough. We could chit chat about some personal. No. Oh. And so this guy worked at Station Grill, and I think he still does.
With Kurt?
With Kurt, yep. Yeah. And so it was their old location on Las Casas.
Okay.
We're up there a little bit late one night. There's a handful, 10, 15 folks still in the restaurant.
Yeah.
But they are starting to do their wind down thing, right? And he had gone out to, and I don't know the restaurant term, clear, clean, whatever, the grease trap. And this gentleman slipped, and one of his feet went in about ankle deep. He got as much off of it as he could. Now, I'm not a restaurant person. I don't claim to know what it's like to run a business, so I'm not even going to pretend like I knew what he went through. He walked in, and every head in that place was like, what is that smell? He went home. He washed it off, changed his socks, shoes, whatever, and it clung to him. And I felt so bad for him. And at that point, I thought to myself, there are a lot of gross things in the restaurant business. So I don't know what pit you're talking about cleaning on a Monday. I can only assume the fire pit.
Yeah, the smoke.
The ash, the smoke, and all that stuff. I personally like smoke, so I was like, whatever. But a grease trap or the funk that is in a bar that gets in that rubber mat that they all pour out at the end of the night. There are some things that the common consumer who just walks in and says, let me get my Shirley Temple and my little half sandwich and my to-go, salad or pot, whatever. They don't understand what somebody went through that day to make that happen. So, much appreciate what you do from that aspect. I don't think enough people my minor was entrepreneurship when I was in college. And so the only things I know about entrepreneurship were from a textbook, which I would say from the entrepreneurs that I know, take all of that and you can go $5 and buy yourself a sandwich somewhere. I mean, because it ain't worth nothing from a textbook. But it's impressive that almost every entrepreneur you talk to or that you listen to or something, at some point comes back to I believed in myself, though. Yep. You don't see the outcome. You don't see the whatever. It's what got me through today, and I didn't quit. Yep. And so going all the way back to what that was of what are you influencing yourself with? So I'm going to ask you, put you on the spot here. Last book you read or something that influenced you to where you were taking in something a little bit different, a little bit out there, whatever.
So I'm not a huge reader.
Okay.
Mainly because of time.
Yep.
And I'm not a very good reader. I have to read things a couple of different times. I'm the same way. I'm not real smart.
Right.
So I don't like reading because I don't retain it, and then I get mad because I just spent an hour reading, and then I got to go back and read
remember
it again.
One line, right?
Right. So, I do have a book, that a friend of mine, Troy Hooper, sent me called Unreasonable Hospitality.
Okay.
And I've read some of it, and I really like it. The last book that I read fully was The Spartan Way.
Okay.
From Joe DeCina, who is the founder and CEO of the Spartan Races.
Okay. Right.
It was a really good book. Really talks a lot about challenges. There's always obstacles in the way. There's always, things that, burden you and,
right.
To how you get through those things. One of my favorite books that I have read multiple times is a book by Dale Carnegie. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
It is hands down my favorite book ever.
Okay.
He talks about the 3 C's, meaning in the first meeting of somebody, never criticize, condemn, or complain about anything because that's your first meeting with them, so you have no idea.
Right. Right.
So if you walk into a business meeting, a restaurant, or whatever, you're their boss, and you immediately start criticizing, condemning, or complaining about something that's wrong, then their interpretation of you is never going to be a good one.
It's always negative.
Always
Yep.
negative.
Yep.
So you always want to let them talk. You always want to. Anytime you can make a conversation about whoever you're speaking to, you will always learn something.
Sure.
Right. Anytime you're bumping your gums, you're not learning.
Right.
You're not listening. If you're not listening, you can't learn.
Right. That's it. That's it.
So it's I really enjoy leadership books, mainly because it helps me.
Right.
Well,
you know the role that you're in.
Selfish thing, but
right.
It's
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, good. I recently read a book by Cam Haynes, and I forget the actual title of it, but like just his desire to push himself to the next event level, whatever. I mean, this guy, he's got all sorts of different successful avenues of what he does, but at the heart of it, he'll tell you, I'm just a bow hunter. He works for the city of something at whatever, Oregon, and like he's kept that job for years. He's moved up the ladder and whatever, but at the heart of it, I'm just a bow hunter who has a successful podcast, is a successful author, successful entrepreneur now, and did different things, and I'm just a bow hunter. And I think that humility that he carries a lot of times is just absolutely impressive. And he knew the people that he was surrounding himself with. And I forget the fella's name, but his best friend that went on a lot of his hunts and that kind of stuff, he always gave him a lot of the credit because he felt like that his friend kept him grounded and kind of kept him returning back to that place of I can do a little bit better. And but I've recently read that book, and it's one of those things where I was like, man, what am I doing to make sure that I keep pushing forward? His kind of catchphrase is keep hammering. And it's like, gosh, dude, what how many times and how often do I get to a point I think, oh, it's good enough? Good enough is just an awful phrase, man. It's absolutely awful.
Settling for mediocrity.
Oh, geez, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's do a little mac or beans.
Mac or beans, man. All right. Well, I had one written down and I abandoned it because I thought of this one, and I was like, dude, man. And I'm going to typically on mac or beans, and I know I'm guilty, probably more so than you. I will get wishy-washy, but well, here's one reason, but here's the reason I like this. Today I'm making us commit, us/me commit. Pick one of these. All right.
Good beer.
These are great. Absolutely great. Seriously, that blonde ale, let me recommend that. I'm a draft person, so I don't know what that one's like, but this right here in the can, that's tasty beverage. When you're drinking your whiskey, neat or on the rocks, and it may not be whiskey, whatever you're having, but neat or on the rocks, and I'm assuming we're not doing mixed drinks here. I'm really paring it down. You're doing a tasting. You're wanting to relax. It's the end of the day. The fire is put out. The employees have gone home. You have 8 hours, 8 hours of sleep. But you have whatever hours of sleep.
I get about 8 hours.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want that glass that you pour? Is it neat or is it on the rocks? I'm going to throw a small caveat in there. I will allow neat to still be chilled, but not shaken. It has to be straight from a freezer or cooler or something like that. So neat or on the rocks.
So the problem with that is...
Say it. I hope you say what I think you're saying. Go.
Is what I'm drinking.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Is that not what...
No, that's fine. That's not what I thought.
No.
Well, there's some purists that say that your bourbon or your whiskey should have a cut of water to get its true fullness of its flavor, and it does this, and by putting it on the rocks, you get to that, and that's why I was going to say, no, I didn't. Tell me what you want to do.
So I'll put it to you this way. So Sunday, for anybody that follows barbecue competition, there was a whole debacle this weekend. We didn't get our scores.
I was going to ask about, was that why the results were late? Just because Just yeah, it's good enough right there. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, that was
third largest barbecue competition in the country.
Country?
In the country.
I thought you were going to say state. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, don't have a debacle then. Anyway, carry on. Sunday,
a full 26 hours after we were supposed to not only find out the results, but find out our individual scores of each category, judging tables, etc. So I can look at it and go, oh, okay, that's why I finished where I finished.
Right.
So I was a little irritated.
Sure.
I don't know if you ever had it or not, but pure Kentucky bourbon, it's delicious.
Okay.
Okay. Pretty high proof. I think it's not bad. It's 110.
Right.
So it's decent, but it's not real hot. Drinks really well. So 99% of the time, if I'm drinking that, it's on the rocks. Not rocks. On the rock.
Right.
One rock.
Right.
All right. Big cube. And that's it.
Okay.
No water. I like it. Just let it go. And you get about halfway through that glass and you got to refresh it.
Right.
Basil Hayden, forget about it. Just let it roll.
Just neat.
Just let it roll.
I tend to lean with most everything that I have. I lean towards just having it neat. There's something about, for me, especially in the higher proof stuff, that having it neat almost just beckons the intentionality of what they wanted out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not to say that every one of them want this specific flavor or profile or whatever, but there's just something about it in its natural state that I like. Now, that being said, I've had a handful, 2, 3, 4, 5, that you try it neat and you're like, this is not very good. And then you cut it.
Amen.
Or it's a little bit chilled or it's, whatever. And you're like, man, that really changed.
Now, I will tell you, so we're sponsored by Curveball Whiskey.
Right.
Okay. So it is the original barbecue whiskey.
Which I have still not tried.
Which is delicious.
Which
you have
I
not?
I have not.
Okay.
And I put that on me. That's 100% on me.
No, you should put that on me. I
disagree.
Well,
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay. Well, I got you.
All right.
Okay. Actually, I definitely got you. I got some in the truck.
Hey, there we go.
So,
ask and you shall receive.
Yeah. So you take those, you put it in the freezer, and you can take that and shoot it. And
right.
It'll warm you right up.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Shout out to Curveball Whiskey.
There you go.
So, what's your go-to bourbon?
Oh, see, if you would just ask me just straight up, like,
or what's your go-to drink? How's that?
I will say my go-to drink, a friend of mine turned me on, just equal parts ginger ale and bourbon. And for whatever reason, that ginger ale, it doesn't like kill it, whatever, adds just that one hint of sweetness, especially if you've got something a little spicy or a little hot.
Yep.
But I tell you, man, I've been fortunate enough where I've gotten the opportunity to try several different things. And to say what's your go-to, I don't really have one that I'm just like, this is what, mostly because I can't afford them.
Amen.
Right? But I have tried a E.H. Taylor barrel proof. I think it was 121, 123, somewhere in there. That was delicious.
Yep.
I've had some Eagle Rare.
A little spicy.
A little spicy, but it was good. I've had some Eagle Rare that I really like. But my everyday, just what am I going to grab to drink? I will get hate for this because of these others that I've dropped in. I like just a good old $32 bottle of Buffalo Trace, man. Like,
ain't no wrong with Buffalo Trace.
There's not. But like some of your purists to be like, well, you just, But
we're not bourbon shaming here.
No, I'm not, because I'm going to be also the first to say that I haven't tried a lot of bourbon. I've just been blessed to try some of the key ones you kind of hear about, and but recently I did have that Basil Hayden.
Look, I'll tell you. I mean, for the purist, I'm not a fan of E.H. Taylor.
Okay, well, I enjoyed it.
I'm not.
I did.
It's spicy. Like, I mean, the notes of it are good. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but it's not something that if I could afford to buy a bottle on a regular basis,
Right.
I wouldn't.
Right.
You know, I just wouldn't.
I think that's part of the reason all these exist, because everybody. I got a friend of mine who he'll put together little tastings, for our friend group, or whatever, every now and then. And there's just some that are really good, and there are some that are like, please,
Look, man,
don't.
that's
ever
why they
serve
make
it.
chocolate and vanilla.
That's exactly right, baby.
Everybody like what I like. It'd be a dull world.
It
You know
sure
what I mean?
would.
Because I like me some chocolate.
But man, there's something about that simple. I mean, $30, you're not gonna break the bank. You can go in there and enjoy it. You know what you're gonna get. I will say, out of the Buffalo Trace, like they've got a good standard. But like I said, I did try that Basil Hayden here recently. Really like that one. Now that's personal preference again. Don't anybody go and say, well, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. You're exactly right. I don't.
So, have you had any of Carrie Bringle's bourbon, the Peg Leg Porker?
I have not.
bourbon?
I have not.
So, sneak peek into next week.
Hey.
But we need to get on that bandwagon, try it out.
Hey, I'll do it. I'll do it.
I've had a couple of them, so
Good.
Anything with a pig on it, I got to try. So,
You kind of have to, don't you?
Carrie got me hook, line, and sinker
right.
with that one. So,
Hey, I'm gonna shift gears real quick before we hit to the Friday feel good for the week. Real quick, give me a guilty pleasure you got for music. I got two that can, and I gave you heads up on this, so you can't say I don't know.
you did?
Yeah. God, do you read my texts? Do you just thumbs up it like Derry's on it, man? All right.
Yeah.
I'll give you two for me. And
I apologize to you
That's
face to
fine.
face
I don't
today
care.
for that one. I saw topics and was like, all right, cool.
You were like, there's
Check.
more than 5. Check mark. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's rock it.
By the way, some of these we didn't cover. We're going to carry them over when we need them.
Hey, let's make it happen.
All right, so I will go ahead, and one of them is like a fairly mainstream guilty pleasure. The other one is an extreme guilty pleasure, at least in my book.
Okay.
All right. The one that's an easy go-to, Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus. You're giggling. You ever want to watch a room?
Oh,
hang on. Hey, the second one's worse than the first one. Hang on. Trent, you're giggling. You ever want to watch a room full of young men come in unison without knowing what's going on verbally and just, there it is, boom, put on Party in the USA. They know it word for word and they won't admit it.
Hey,
All of them.
I'm not gonna hate.
No.
I would jam
There's a
out with
reason
you.
it's a guilty pleasure.
I would
All right.
I would jam out with you to that.
Here's the one that you're going to be
Okay.
like,
All
dang
right.
it, man. Why?
I'm
Girls
ready.
Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. It's too dang catchy, man.
Hey, it's a classic.
It's classic. It's
I'll
catchy.
give you that one.
All right, but that's why they're guilty
But look,
pleasures.
Miley Cyrus.
It's Party in the USA. I didn't say Miley Cyrus. I said Party in the USA.
You did say Miley
Very
Cyrus.
specific.
man,
That's
so
but
good.
I'm telling you right now, you put that on in a high school, every one of them know it. The class changes, the mood changes, everybody gets ecstatic. It is
All right,
hysterical.
So one of my favorites. I shouldn't say this out loud.
Yes, you should.
That's the whole point.
I just went for Cyndi Lauper. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Like, what are you going to outdo
And
that
I
with?
think no less of you for Cyndi Lauper.
You
Miley
shouldn't.
Cyrus, I might have an opinion. I judged you. I'm not.
I tripped him up.
I love me some Michael Jackson.
Oh,
come
that's
on.
not a guilty pleasure.
That's
Well,
That's just enjoying the classics.
yeah, but it's like I mean, it's bad.
The song bad?
Well, that's one of
See,
them.
okay.
But when Thriller comes on,
Every time.
so
like, bro,
Every
I'm in the
time.
car like,
Yes. You're doing the dance, aren't you?
oh yeah,
Gosh.
like I mean, it's
I
bad.
can still see
Yeah.
people we went to high school with in the variety show doing that. Like they had the whole
Yeah.
get up in the gym. They nailed it too.
Now and
can I make a confession real quick?
Yeah, you
Yes.
go ahead.
Man in the Mirror is probably my all-time favorite song.
Legit.
oh yeah, I would
it's
agree.
top
with that.
3 for sure.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's
It brings
really
me to
good.
tears more times than not. If the
Yeah.
whole world just did that, we'd be fine.
Dude, that song
It gets me.
brings me more philosophical in my really gets in my brain.
And you think it's over a couple times, then it just
Yeah.
brings
That's
And
the
then
great
it's
part
coming-
about it.
coming back.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Can
I will also tell you,
Come on.
This is the one I need. You're
This
almost
is the
embarrassed
one.
to say
This
that.
is-
Yeah,
this
right,
is it.
exactly.
Michael Jackson was not.
That's fine.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
But it counts because
It's not a guilty
it's-
pleasure.
I know what you
Look,
mean.
if I'm really like dancing, like I'm like geeked out.
Okay.
Dancing.
I was about
Like,
to
I
go
mean, it's
with, like,
crazy,
the-
and I can teach you how to Dougie.
There's a line.
But
There's
that's about
a
it.
line in Single Tree Barbecue, and
Oh,
Charlie's
boy.
in the back, just like
oh yeah,
about
like
to
it's
break out
rocking
the
it,
Carltons.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got the fangs and everything. Like it's fucked
man.
up.
That's amazing. It
So, in 1998,
was a good year.
it was. That's when you were born, right? In 1998, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
Okay. And So I had some friends, and we all thought that we were the honorary members of either the Backstreet Boys
Dude,
or NSYNC.
bro. No shame.
That is
Like,
phenomenal.
No shame.
It was one or the other.
Bro,
It was bad.
that was gonna
So-
be mine. I love NSYNC to this day.
That's great. That's great.
Like,
New JT is
So
fire.
bad that I had the blonde tips.
No,
No.
you did not have frosted.
Wow.
You did not have frosted tips.
Oh yeah. Like
Oh
I mean,
my God.
I look like Guy
Bro, we
Fieri's
have got
son.
to find that.
Please tell me you have a
to-
picture of that somewhere. This topic was
We-
worth this just to find out that you had
we-
frosted tips.
I do have a picture somewhere.
I'm gonna hit your wife for it.
Yes.
if I have to.
You'd have to. I know that my brother's wife. I know my sister
Oh my.
has a picture somewhere.
Hey, can I
actually
tell you-
holding her daughter, Jasmine,
with the
so-
frosted tips.
with the frosted
Oh
tips.
my gosh, that's legendary.
Yeah.
I got one more thing.
Yeah.
So for no shame in this either. Four of my best friends, still to this day, I can call all four of them to this day. When we were in middle school, they had a boy, like they did a boy band called On Track. Their name was Tyler, Ryan, Adam, and Chad. So Track, and they would go around to state fairs, skate arounds, whatever, and perform cover songs of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Man.
Legendary. On Track forever.
On track. Yeah.
They
On
would like
track.
win
All right,
competitions.
so
bro.
which boy band song? You can't just go blanket
Oh,
boy
man.
band here. Like which
No,
one? You
like
got?
it was that bad.
Oh, it was that bad.
Like it was that bad.
Oh my gosh, that is so
that's-
funny.
I mean, it was
All right,
bad.
you
Like
gotta answer
we
this.
could play. I'll put it to you this way. So when my niece graduated high school, me, my brother, and all of our buddies went. They lived. My brother lived in Arkansas, but all of our buddies got in the cars and we all met in Arkansas at my brother's house. And we are riding down the road, and I don't remember which group or which song.
It doesn't
came
matter.
out. And it's me, my brother, and two of my other buddies, and we're in a big truck, and it's two wives are with us, and we are all, except for the wives, singing this as loud as we can with all the windows down, sunroof wide open. We were in my brother's truck.
Okay.
Okay. And at the time, like this is a truck that had a full-on competition stereo system.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So amps, subs, tweeter. I mean, it's loaded up. So you turn that thing up, and you can hear it, across
Right.
town. And we got it as loud
You
as
could
it'll
feel the
go.
vibration. Just kind of.
Oh yeah, feel the vibration.
That was a
for
Marky
sure.
Mark of the Funky Bunch, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. So
Somebody said, "Who the heck is that?"
But, I
that'd
mean,
be Mark
it is-
Wahlberg for you new folks.
it is
You
full
younger.
on blonde tipped
That's hysterical, man.
Backstreet Boy.
I will say, since you told on yourself a little bit there, I'm going to do the same. A buddy of mine, Jonathan Pulius, local cabinet maker. We grew up together. We were in a 1992, 94, somewhere in there, GMC Blazer, black, the
Ooh.
standard red interior that Chevrolet had. Killing Me Softly by the Fugees comes on.
Dude.
And to
Come
watch
on.
two white boys scream this at the top of their lungs windows up, didn't care who's watching. And to this day, if that song comes on, I could shoot him a text and we will die laughing. We let that rip, man. That was awesome.
One of the ones that me and
this is the best podcast I've maybe ever recorded.
me and my brother will be in the car, and he has like every song that we've ever listened to on his little phone.
You were about to say iPod. I don't know if you were about onesie too.
I was very close.
Spinning the
iPhone.
There are people that don't know what that is. I understand that people don't know what fax machines are. Yeah. They don't even know the little thumb control on the iPod. Like that what a world we're in. Anyway,
everything's touchscreen.
Brother's got it all. Yeah. He's got all the songs.
But it can be any Eazy-E song. Mm-hmm. And, like when Eazy-E was big, we weren't born.
Right.
Right? But we know every word to every song there was.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Right? Guns N' Roses, got it. Like, just boom.
Have you ever seen that meme where the girl's like, it's a young picture of Axl Rose, and she's like, oh, would literally love to know this guy. And Axl Rose supposedly comments, goes, what's up? She goes, ooh, no. He goes, I am that guy. Like, it's just not me. Quite the same.
That's me. I'm just 70.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to move us to Friday Feel Good.
Let's make it
You ready for it?
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Y'all, it is the time for that Friday Feel Good. Listen, it's springtime. It's 70 degrees outside right now. We're recording. It is absolutely wonderful. I just want to remind you to do a little bit of mental spring cleaning. Let go of that garbage that you're carrying through the year, that you've carried through the winter months. You've got several months, hopefully, of decent new weather to make new memories, new routines, new excitements outside. And so let yourself go through that. Do that spring cleaning. Quit holding yourself down for what you hang on to. Look, every time we get an opportunity to do this and you kind of refresh your mind, you do come out feeling better, and it renews your focus and it renews just the vibrancy that you have for life. So let me encourage you, do a little mental spring cleaning. You know what to do. Find somebody you know. Tell them you love them. So that's that's my Friday Feel Good, brother.
That is outstanding. As always, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys taking the time to join us today. We have lots of good things planned and good things coming. Some really, really, really cool episodes planned out and coming up here in the near future. So if you'd like to get involved, please do. Give us a call, 615-307-0120. You can email me at charlie@singletreebbq.com. And as always, leave us 5-star reviews, like, share, and comment.
We don't ever cover this. Where can I get Single Tree Barbecue?
2805 Old Fort Parkway.
2805 Old Fort Parkway.
Sweet O.
There you go. He's on the end.
Come see me.
You can't miss the Blue Smoker.
Tuesday through Sunday.
That's it.
11 to 8, or Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 8, 11 to 3 on Sundays. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed. We can get open on Mondays soon.
There you go.
Yep.
Excellent.
Y'all come see us. We'll see you next week.
Y'all have a good one.
Thanks for joining us today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, leave us a 5-star review and come see us at the restaurant.